What up, boys? You already know what it is, man. You already know what time it is. It's Dope Bros back in the Dope Factory. Got more shit to say. Bunch of shit been going down.
Mm.
NCAA championship, men and women's, NBA getting to the playoffs. Stuff still popping off in the NFL, free agency, draft about to come up, MLB starting, NHL finna go to playoffs, Masters, like
Soccer championship.
soccer, like pretty much every sport is
Everything,
popping
yeah.
right now. So it's
Everything.
kind of one of the best times of the year, other than like it not being actual football season, but still some hype. But yeah, just a bunch of stuff popping off. So we back spitting that real. So that's why y'all hanging out with us because we give y'all that real. We give y'all that real mind. And yeah, just to start off, we're gonna go to the NCAA championship last night. U of H, Florida, two number ones. I mean, not a lot of upsets in this tournament. You know what I'm saying?
They were earlier on, but once you got to the end, there was a big gap between the top teams and all the other teams. Not that the other teams weren't good, because they all were really good, but those top teams, bro, they're crazy.
Right. It was just it was really top heavy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With Tennessee's, the Floridas, the Houstons, Duke. So bunch of good teams in this one. But yeah, UH Florida championship. It was a good game. It was actually a really good game because it came down to the end. Houston looked good pretty much most of the game. It was just they kind of kept Florida around, lingering around, and then eventually Florida just got the lead, and then Houston just kind of crumbled. And they got the lead so late that it was hard for them to bounce back and just recover.
Get their own run back.
Yeah, so what it really looked like out there was it looked like Cryer, who did good. He had 19 points. It looked like Cryer was doing his best to win the game, and pretty much everybody else on Houston was trying their best to lose the game. Turnovers were bad on both sides. I think Florida had like 13 turnovers. Houston had like 10. I mean, both teams were just throwing the ball everywhere. But I think Houston's were worse because they were down the stretch. You know what I mean? It was like everything Florida did wrong was kind of early on, and then they cleaned it up at the end, and then Houston was more locked in the beginning. And then at the end, when it was like, all right, you just need like a couple more baskets to close it in, they played the sloppiest they probably have ever like played all year, all tournament at least. So it was just, I don't know, it was just bad. I'll tell you one thing, Sharp was terrible the entire game. The entire game, Sharp was terrible. Like, I watched it back. I mean, he looked like he was out there like actually selling. Like, he might have had Florida money line. Check his FanDuel, because he was just all over the place. There was one defensive series where he like fell on the ground, then tried to like get back up. Like, there was no reason for him to even fell. Obviously the last shot possession was just absolutely terrible. Like, what are we even doing? Like, he was the open man, so I get why he got the ball, but I just don't. He kind of like spazzed out, and then he just didn't. Yeah. That was terrible. He has like a possession or two before that. He had a turnover. He tried to drive in, and then he just like lost the ball out of bounds. Like, missed threes. I mean, he was 3 of 11 overall, 1 of 7 from 3. I mean, just terrible, man. I mean, his shots were bad. I mean, that he literally by himself looked like he was selling the team. I don't really know what he had going on or what that was, but no one else on the team really did any good either. So it's like, I don't know. It just seemed like the guys that were supposed to be supporting just fell asleep, The bigs kind of played good with some of their blocks, some of their turnovers.
Just very loose.
Yeah, but
everything was just loose. Like, they're really good at getting scrambling and getting those hectic plays, but obviously it doesn't win the championship.
Right, which is crazy because it seemed like they played so well defensively at the end against Duke. Like, they held them to like one field goal in the last 8 minutes or whatever, and just did really good at kind of making them do what they wanted. and it seemed like this game they went away from that. I just feel like Florida just has way too much length. Like the Clayton Condon dude, he's a forward, but he's like 6'11". He's a 7-foot forward. Like they're playing like basically all bigs almost, and it's just like Houston's driving in to try to get easy buckets. Dude, they had like 5 or 6 blocks. Like Florida was just all over. Like you can't really get inside, you know? So then you're kind of forced to take these shots that you don't want to. You're forced to take these threes. And I just don't think that was Houston's game. You know?
They weren't hitting as
right
like they would normally.
Yeah, and that was probably the difference. But I just think the sloppy turnovers at the end and just horrid play from the supporting cast other than, Crier, like, was just bad. Clayton Jr. on Florida was decent in the second half. He was kind of mid in the beginning. He ended up getting like basically the MVP. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I feel like Will Richard was kind of a little bit better to me, but I mean, it just was again. Florida just kind of just stayed there until they finally just got their time to get the kill shot,
kept chipping away,
and then once they got the kill shot, like it seemed like when Houston was up 10 points because they were up like 40-30 at one point. It just seemed like Houston at that point thought they had it won. They were like, we're up 10. We're just going to keep this pace and we're going to win. And then they just kind of were like, oh shit, like they're up and there's only 20 seconds left. Like, what do I do? You know? But good tournament overall. But
good shit, Florida.
Yeah, good shit, Florida. I really wanted Houston to win so that I could potentially go back and party. But it is what it is.
It's the way the cookie crumbles.
Just the way the cookie crumbles, man. Houston will be a good team next year, though. They're going to continue to be a good team. I feel like
they've been solid.
They've been solid,
and it's a really good city and state for basketball in general. I mean, isn't KD from Houston?
He went to Texas.
I like that Houston area. Maybe no, he's from. He just went to Texas.
He just went to Texas.
That's right. It's Fox that I was thinking of.
Right, Fox. Yeah, we get talent, and I think now like Houston's kind of U of H especially is looked at like as a basketball school. You know what I mean? So it's like a lot of people want to go there. The coach is a great coach, obviously. So they're gonna be in the mix, for years to come. A lot of these teams that were in the mix, Sweet 16 and up, are probably teams that are going to be back again. Louisville, if y'all get some players healthy, should be back in there.
Did you see all the players that we got, though?
I didn't see the players that y'all got.
We have, like, crazy transfers coming in, but
I assume so. But very, very disappointed by that run. We're not gonna get too much into it, but you know what I'm saying. They'll be on the map next year. You know what I mean. I'm hopeful. But moving on, we got the NCAA Women's Championship. Not really much to dissect as far as the game. I mean, UConn just kind of rolled them. Good for Paige Beckers though. Like she went through a lot, bro. You know what I'm saying? 2020, and then it was like, she had like a couple injuries. She had the ACL, and then to end this run as a champion, I think it's a W.
And she's unbelievable. Like she's such a good player.
Really she's insane. She can just do everything, bro. Like she's smacking threes, but then she also has like crazy handle.
She's like Caitlin Clark. Yeah. Like before Caitlin Clark was popping like that. Was she was already like that at UConn, like her freshman year, and the injuries like made people now realize that she was him, but she's him,
or just not realize. Like it almost became an afterthought because you were like, she's hurt, so she's not playing, so people just kind of forgot. Then that's like while she wasn't playing, Reese and Caitlin Clark, Cardozo are like going crazy. You know what I mean? Brink. So then it's kind of like she became an afterthought, but then. She became the main show. I wish Juju Watkins would have stayed healthy though.
I know that would have been
electric.
Like
Juju versus Paige, like that would have been crazy. You know what I mean? But that class was elite though. I really wanted to highlight that the 2020 class.
Mm-hmm.
It showed the picture. They were all like 98. Like they were all 98, and like the thing was like, so if they were all 98, what separated them? Like how they like get them in order, and like dude just replied, he was just like aura. Like it was just like I don't know. That's just insane. Reese, Clark, Paige, Brink, Cardozo, same class. Like
yeah.
I don't know. That might be one of the most elite, you know what I'm saying, W's to come out. Yeah. You know what I mean?
That's like the, what was it, LeBron and Carmelo and
right.
Wade and whatever it was.
Yeah. It's like, it's just, wow. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All of them are champions except for Clark, which had to play Reese. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's 3 guards and 3 bigs.
Right. It's just like perfect balance. This group, Reese, Clark, Paige, Brink, and Cardozo, these 5 are going to be the reason that like the W like takes it up another notch.
Yeah.
And that's not to say that the W hasn't had great players in the past, like Kelsey Plum and you know Sue Bird and all these women were great.
Angel McCoughtry.
But I think that these are going to be the women that like
the stars that bring it to the next level.
Yeah, the stars that revolutionize it in a different way, where it's like they're young, so they're like in tune with like what's going on now. They're on TikTok, they're posting, you know, so it's like it's different. But I feel like these ones are going to be the ones that really can take it up a notch because
they'll have sponsors invested, and that'll actually pay them,
right?
And the teams and shit.
And people are gonna want to see these people. Yeah. Like these women. Like people want to see Clark. Like Clark was getting crazy attendance for the Fever. You know what I mean? Like people were showing up because they're like, we want to see Clark bang a bunch of threes. Like you know, Clark versus Reese. Like people want to see that because of the college, you know, stuff that was going on. Then it's like now it's in the pros. Like they always kind of going at each other. Like Cardozo, Brink, when she comes back, like what's she gonna do? Like then you know Paige Becker's in the mix. Like you know what I mean? Then whenever Juju probably not gonna be, you know, obviously this year. It's like she'll probably maybe do one more year. But like when she gets in, it's like these are gonna be the women that I feel like really take it to like where people actually start watching.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're actually really they're skilled. Yeah. Like crazy, you know. Clark banging threes, like all this stuff.
Like they're not just like good basketball players. Right. Like they're like unreal.
Right. They're not just like okay.
Besides
they're like
Reese.
Yeah. Reese.
She's so mid, bro.
Reese is the only one that has gotten worse since getting to the W. Like I don't.
Bro, she's just so mid.
Right.
She was mid in college too, but it was just she was able to get a lot more easier shots.
Yeah, I think it's because like the bigs, obviously in college, especially you know, obviously in the women's aren't. All of them aren't her size, so you know what I mean. So I feel like she was really able to dominate the paint. I just feel like she played with a different gear when she was at LSU. I feel like this first year she kind of
like more of a relaxed,
right. And I think she was going off in the beginning because like in the beginning she was going crazy, but you know I think she got hurt with the wrist injury. I don't know how serious it was, but she kind of fell off towards the back end of the year. But I still think Reese can be good. I still think Reese can be a top player. I think she's the most mid probably out of this group right now.
She just needs to get a touch. That's all it is.
She just needs to get a touch, and that's the thing. I feel like she gets a little bit too like tunnel vision when she's under the basket. You know, she kind of like forgets where she's at a little bit. Kind of just like throwing it up. She's kind of just like real like spazzy. Like like she kind of needs to like learn how to like you know just relax and put it up.
Like if you take a kid to their first basketball game and they get the rebound and they're like trying to put it up, like that's how she is every time she gets a rebound.
It's like you've seen it come to the board instead of like controlled like boom, put it back. She's like no, wait. It's
no
like,
pump fakes.
Right.
No
it's
pump
like,
fakes.
It's like, all right, like slow it down. Grab the board.
Even the dribble, it's like
right. Yeah, it's like
fucking relax, bro.
It's like everything is so like you said, herky jerky and like over, you know, exaggerated. It's like, you know, she's like grabbing it. She's like doing crazy. It's like, dude, just grab the board, figure out what you're gonna do, go back up. Like, you know, I just feel like if she kind of just takes it easy a little bit,
Braun does a lot of that.
She'll get back in her bag. Yeah. You know, I think she cares too much about like the media, like she doesn't want to be ass,
no,
because she doesn't want to get talked about like in that negative light, which no one does. But I feel like Reese especially, and she's gonna want to come back and you know what I'm saying and ball out. So we'll see. But this is definitely an elite class. 2020 elite class for the W. They're gonna change the wave. They're gonna change the wave for sure. But yeah, now getting into the to the NBA. NBA, man, NBA is hot, especially in the Western Conference.
Yes,
it's a dogfight right now in the West.
It's so close every year.
It is. The East is pretty much well, it is said and done already. I think they already have like their playing team. Like everyone's already in the spot. Like the East is locked up. Honestly, just to get the East out the way real quick, because we're gonna spend a lot of time on the West here. To get the East out the way, I dead ass still only think it's a 2-man race here. I think it's Cavaliers and I think it's Celtics. Yeah. I think everybody else isn't gonna.
I think the Knicks could make a really late run. Like I think the Knicks honestly have a chance to win a chip, but I don't think they are consistent enough. Consistently, right. You know what I mean? Like yes. they don't make enough shots consistently, and they don't know like who they want to make the shot consistently enough. Right. They have OG, they have McCall, they have McBride, they have Brunson, they have Cat. Like they don't. They have all these players that are really good, but they don't pick anybody to score all on that one night. Like Brunson's not going off. Right. Everybody's gonna have 10.
And I still think that the coach fucks it up just a little bit because I still think the coach plays them for way too many minutes. Oh, yeah. Like I know you want your stars to be out there, but it's not college. Like he be like last playoff run, he's having them out there, 45 plus minutes. It's like, damn, can they sit on the bench for a little bit, And yeah. I just feel like that kind of, especially when they were in that dogfight series with the Sixers, you're going back and forth with Embiid and have to battle. Then it's like, it's like you can't even catch your breath. And then you play a tough nose series like that. Then you got to go, I don't know. So it's just like, I still think they play too many minutes. I think, like you said, inconsistency with the consistency. They don't really know who's kind of the number one.
Let's see how Cat plays in the playoffs too.
Yeah, I think Cat will be fine. That's like he's like the least of my worries on that.
He is the most consistent.
Like he gets his rebounds. He's gonna get his points. He's actually been having a really great year. Like
like 20.
Cat's been good. 20 and 10.
He's been getting like 15, 20 boards a game.
Right. Too. Like he's going crazy. So I think Cat is probably maybe what can give them that extra extra leg.
Like an actual big.
Right. And a big that can shoot threes and do crazy shit. He can give them maybe that X factor.
Come on.
But I think, Brunson's still kind of working back from the ankle injury, Josh Hart, you never really know. It's either a triple-double or it's like 6 points. You never really know Josh.
OG 30 or 5.
Right. He's, again, yeah. So you just don't really know with these guys. But I guess we'll just have to see. But I still just think it's a 2-man race. I think that the Cleveland Cavaliers right now, how they're built, Donovan Mitchell, Garland's iffy, but everybody else is like Mobley, Allen, you know what I'm saying?
And they have crazy shooters on the bench.
Right. And don't they got who'd they get from the Hawks?
LeVert.
Right. LeVert.
Right?
No, they didn't get
LeVert. No, it was Hunter.
Hunter
for LeVert.
Right.
That's what it was.
So they got Hunter now. I think that they're just set up, I like them, and I think that they have the best roster as far as just like depth and star power to be able to compete with the Celtics, who have obviously depth and star power.
And they can play a lot of different styles too. Like they play really good defensively with a small lineup and a big, and offensively as small and a big, threes inside, take it slow. Like they're really good. Obviously.
They can play fast pace.
Yeah.
I think that's why I just think it's a 2-man race. Yeah. I like some of these other teams. Just some of these other teams just don't have enough. Like
the Heat or not.
The Heat, you might as well get them out of here. They're not going to be able to go far.
The Bucks, probably not.
The Bucks.
I mean, if they're healthy, but
But Damian Lillard is going to be out
and Bobby
for the whole time, right? And
he's been out for a long time.
So, basically Giannis solo squatting here. Yeah. I think maybe depending on some of the early matchups, like I can see the Bucks maybe getting past, if they have to play a I don't know, like maybe they get a Heat or they get one of those teams, but I don't know. I don't like I said, once he kind of has to go against this team where it's like, oh, we have like 5 or 6, 7 guys that can go off tonight, and he's like, I have to get a triple double to have a chance. Like, I don't know, bro. It's just, I don't think it's happening. If they had Dame, I'd feel a little bit more confident with them. But with Dame out basically for the season, I'm not seeing it. I do like the Magic.
Yeah, the Magic are really
I
nice.
like the Magic. I think that if anybody could be a dark horse, it's gonna be them. I like
Paolo's playoff mode, bro.
He's been playing crazy, and he played really good last playoffs against the Cavaliers. He gave them a fit, boy. I don't know.
He was crazy. You were talking shit about the Cavs, but it wasn't about the Cavs.
I thought they were gonna sell. I mean, dude, it was going back and forth. It was basically whoever had home court was winning.
Yeah.
And Ben Carroll, Franz Wagner, bro, like all these dudes were going crazy. Like,
I think Mo Wagner's still gonna be out though.
Really?
Yeah, I think he's gonna be out for the season.
Yeah, so
that's tough.
That is tough.
And Suggs too.
Yeah, fuck. They're hurt too. Damn. See this is the thing about these teams in the East. It's like all of them kind of have something good, but I don't know, man. I mean, if they're going to be injured, but I think that I think Orlando has a chance to do something here. I think with Banchero, with Wagner, you should be able to.
They could take like a Knicks to a 7, honestly.
Right. Or a Bucks, right?
Like, I honestly think they could even take like the Celtics to 6. I don't know if they could take them to 7, but I think they could take the Celtics to like 6.
Right. And
if somebody can get them out of the way, like the Magic could make it to the finals.
Right. I think the Hawks.
I forgot about the Hawks.
Are flashy.
Yeah.
And they can score a lot, but defensively they're so bad that there's no way they're going to beat a team in a 7 game at all. Like every Hawks game is 150 to 150. Like they just have no idea how to stop anybody. Like, which is crazy because Dyson Daniels does get steals, which opens up like fast breaks and stuff like that. But as far as actually like stopping a team from scoring,
they just jump the passing lanes.
They just jump passing lanes and get fast break buckets, which is good. But like actual plays when the team is actually set up and doesn't throw the ball away, they're just getting beat.
Yeah.
Like they have no interior defense. Their 3-point defense is non-existent. It's like they're just not guarding anything. They don't have great players defensively like that. Mm-hmm. All their defense comes from stuff like that, fast breaks.
I think if they still had Jalen Johnson, it would have switched up their whole scheme. Like he plays so much as an anchor for them on offense and defense.
Yeah,
that
he's so consistent too. So I think that them not having him again, another team in the East that just kind of has the injuries. But we'll see what Trae Young can do. Trae Young's flashy. He's gonna.
If he plays the Knicks,
he's gonna make some good. Trae Young's he's gonna go off.
He's gonna go
and off. He's been crazy this year, man. He's been scoring crazy, and I think he's still the assist leader, bro. Like
Halliburton's been going crazy with assists too.
Yeah. So we'll see what the Hawks have in store, but
and the Pacers are all right. Like I feel like they could, depending on matchups, but
they're cool.
Yeah.
I don't see.
I mean, they're probably like 4 or 5, right? 4 or 5 best.
I think they are 4, I believe, or they're somewhere. They're top 6.
Yeah, but as far as like strength wise, I'd say like East. They're probably 4th.
Yeah.
Probably the 4th best team.
The thing is, it feels like something about them. It feels like they all go cold at the same time, which is bad. Like you have teams where, okay, Luka might be a little off, but LeBron or, whatever. Most teams kind of have a couple different guys or, something, or it doesn't seem like everybody's ice cold at the same time. Where I feel like the Pacers, it's like, you look at their games sometimes and you're like, is everybody under 10 points right now? Like, is nobody scoring? And then you never really know what Halliburton, like, are you scoring today or are you just passing the ball? Which is like weird to me because you're supposed to be like an all-star point guard, but you sometimes just don't score.
Sometimes you just shoot the ball 4 times.
Right. Sometimes you shoot, sometimes you don't. Like, what is that? I know they kind of run it through like, Turner and Siakam, they kind of do this like double forward thing. But I mean, you kind of want your star player to like have more involvement than just passing the rock. Like I get the assists are cool, but it's like you're going into third quarters and shit with 10 or 7, 8. Like that's not really helping.
I think they really have like a college mindset when it comes to basketball. Like they're very much streaky.
Right.
Their best players like can go off at any time, but they're not guaranteed to be consistently good at any time. Like Siakam, even though he's the most consistent, he has like 10-point games,
Right.
8-point games and shit. Like I feel like they're very much like college. Like when they're hot, they score 100 points. When they're cold, they score 40 points.
Right. And I feel like they don't have a guy on their team that just takes over. Like even the games that they win where they played really good, and it's kind of their thing because they spread the basketball around a lot. But it's like they'll win the game, but you'll look at the thing and it's like, okay, everyone like one dude 22, one dude 24, then 18, 15. Like it's like they don't have
Nobody's scoring 50.
Nobody's scoring the 30s. No one's scoring like the 35s. Like, dude, did you see him? He got 4. It's like
unless Halliburton just starts yakking up threes.
Right, which he doesn't really sometimes. Like most of the time. He's just kind of like seems like he's kind of just on coasting mode. Like he's just coasting on the court. And it's like I feel like that is what kind of
hold him back.
Because if you have to go against a Boston where it's like Tatum and Brown are combining for 80, then like what? You know what I'm saying? It's just
Mathurin and
I just feel like it's just they're too nonchalant, if that even is the right word to describe it. It's like no one wants to be the killer. It's like everyone's just like, oh, I'm okay with
too much of a team.
Right. I'm okay with getting my 20 and then you can get your 20 and then you can get your 15. It's like, well, damn, can somebody get the ball and you know what I'm saying, get in that killer mode and go.
Mathurin is the one on the team that goes into killer mode.
I like Mathurin.
They don't give him the ball when it's like when they need buckets.
Right.
And he can get it for him every time.
I know.
He's like Kuminga
I like Mathurin.
if Kuminga could actually finish.
I like Mathurin.
He's nasty, bro.
So like I said, they have a solid squad. They could, win a series, but I don't see them really making it deep. I still just think this is Celtics, Cavs dance. Everybody else is just kind of a visitor, and we'll see how it plays out. But let's get into the big boy league. Let's get into the Western Conference with the real hitters. Lakers had a little up and down couple weeks, a little up and down couple weeks.
Hey, we have players
some good wins, some head scratchers. You know what I'm saying? The Bulls game is kind of indicative of what's been going on with the season a little bit. Some laziness and some clutch moments, some maybe overconfidence in the looking past our opponents a little bit. Something we've seen, something that kind of gives me a little bit of worry with the Lakers. Obviously, still a great team, still Luka, still LeBron. Austin Reeves has been playing great. Even the Gabe Vincent and like Dorian, Vinny Smith, whatever his name is, Vinny.
Rui's been smacking.
Rui. I mean, the team's been playing good.
Yep.
The only thing I just still think the Lakers aren't deep. I still think the Lakers are top heavy. Maybe that's just me. Maybe nobody else feels that way. I just feel like the Lakers, it's like y'all starting 5 and then like who cares about the rest, And I don't know if that's gonna be crazy enough to really make. I can see y'all beating a lot of the teams that are in the play-in conversation, like Timberwolves, Grizzlies, like teams like that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm really talking about the top 6 and like the Clippers, I think, are like the teams that I'm like, I don't know. But I still think the Lakers are poised to at least get to second round and higher for sure. But I think some of that stuff that we saw at the end of the Bulls game, the LeBron whatever pass inbounding, like lazy, we've seen that in multiple games. Some head scratching, game management kind of at the end of the game. And not really on the coach, but just on the players kind of just being lazy defensively. I mean, they let Josh Giddey literally run up and get the perfect look at the basket. Like no one ran at him until the end when LeBron was late on that swing pass. When he hit the 3 in the corner, LeBron was late trying to jump over. It's like nobody else was there. I mean, little stuff like that to me is what can make the Lakers fold in some of these games that
Right.
they should probably win, but in the playoffs, it's a 7 game. Things can happen. Like, it's going to come down to the little things. We'll see if they can lock in, but I don't know. Like, what do you think? I just that's the only thing with me personally.
I get it, but I mean, if we're talking about locking in and we're talking about LeBron and the Lakers when it comes to the playoffs,
Right.
I mean, it's common sense. But also, I do see that we're like weak in certain spots.
No team is perfect, is
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And that's why I was saying, like, yeah, like the
Yeah.
Lakers, y'all do have to start Luka, LeBron. They've been in the playoffs. They have the experience.
Mm.
Probably a lot more experience than a lot of these teams in here in the West, which is, I think, a crazy advantage. They lock in, and they've beat teams like OKC and stuff like that in the past couple weeks. But
I think the biggest thing is people when Luka got traded to the Lakers, we were all curious about how the defense would be and um, how the team would look in general. And everybody's been impressed with how the team's looked. I mean, the defense looks insane for the most part. There's lapses mentally, but as a whole, like they switch really well. They contest shots a lot better than they used to. They're rebounding a lot better. Like they're playing a lot better as a team. And offensively, like Luka's been shooting like shit, and we're winning big games. LeBron's been shooting like shit for the most part, and we're winning big games. So when Luka and LeBron lock in, how do we lose? You know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
If you have Luka and LeBron both combining for 30, and then whoever else, Austin Reeves, Rui, Vincent, Finney Smith, Connect, Goodwin, whatever, like they can hit a three or something here and there because that's all they're really asking them to do, which I don't like personally, but that's all they're asking them to do, and they can come in and hit those shots. So if we can just stay consistent, play that strong defense that we've been playing, then I really don't think there's any team that can stop us. Clearly, the Thunder lost big time
Right.
at home. We'll see how it goes tonight, but I mean,
I agree.
40 free throws would have gotten them back, right?
I agree, but I feel like it's kind of best case scenario,
Yeah.
Because it's like, yeah, if they both come, if they both get 30 each, and then you get like another,
Right.
which is like things that could happen and can happen.
But I feel like that's a realistic can happen though.
It is
with them too.
It is, but I just feel like defensively they've been good.
Yeah.
Not great. I think that they still have issues with some of the better guards, which
Yeah.
I know it's like
That's been our biggest heel.
I know it's like, well, they're the better guards, so obviously they're going to score. But I just think that like some of the guards, like
like Fox always goes off for like 45.
Fox, Green,
Yeah.
like guys like that, I feel like
Well.
they have an issue with, except for the last game, whatever. But you know what I'm trying to say. I just feel like that.
Like that explosive guard that can they can make a shot here and there,
Right.
And then if they can get in the lane, they're gonna cook every single.
Because I just feel like
Shea's probably gonna go for 45 tonight.
Right. I feel like Luka sometimes is just a step behind when it comes to defense. But I feel like the reason he is just because he's putting so much on the offensive side. He's the main ball handler. He's playing ISO play.
Ball hogging.
So it's like, it's hard to be that explosive offensively and then, want to go that crazy defensively.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
keep up the same energy on both sides.
Yeah, so I just think that, we'll see what we get from the Lakers, but I still think that they're going to be one of the better teams in the conversation. They're third in the West for a reason. I think they definitely have gotten better since when they had AD, because now you just have more scoring, more firepower. Obviously, Luka's way better at fast break plays, I think, just as far as being a facilitator, getting that board and immediately looking down and being like, okay, Bron's down, past outlet, go. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's what
Reeves has upped
this
play a lot too. And Reeves has really came in his own as really that third option, but he's not even playing like a third option because he's getting like 20, 25, 30. I mean,
he's balling.
If those three can do that night in and night out on the playoffs in the 7 games when it matters most, and they can hone in on the little, mistakes defensively as far as the turnovers, sloppy passing in the lane in clutch moments, thinking that I can just kind of, lob that over there. Like that's the kind of stuff that to me shows up a lot, and that's the stuff that can beat this team from going really deep conference finals run to getting a head scratcher in the second round to somebody, that maybe isn't even as good on paper.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's my only worry with the Lakers. But, sorry.
You're good. Yeah, I mean, they're valid worries, but that's like the opposite thinking. Is like
right.
Like opposite thinking of
I'm being a devil's advocate.
Yeah.
You know
Instead of them combining for 60, they're combining for 15 turnovers.
Right. And then
and it could go either way.
And then Vincent and Vinny Smith,
they could go 0 of 8.
Right. They could be like absolutely doing nothing, just running cardio out there. Or they could be like how they were against the Rockets the other night, where they're like, bro, are these dudes just going back and forth on threes right now? Like
they were actually going crazy.
So it's like you don't know, but that's the stuff that I'm like, all goes well, all goes well. One part of the car starts fucking up.
Yeah.
I don't know how far this thing gonna get down the street. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying.
I feel like the baseline is really
Lakers
good.
And 5. Hey!
I feel like the baseline is really, really good though. Like if you're saying the top and the
right.
best case and worst case scenario, like in the middle, the squad is like pretty damn solid.
I mean, it's Luka, it's LeBron.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, obviously this is a top team. They're like I said, they're a top 4 team in the West for a reason.
Yeah.
I think they have the firepower. I think that the team's playing good. So
we'll see. You talk about your team, your Rockets?
Yeah, I actually do. For the first time in a long time, in a couple years, the Rockets look like a well-oiled machine. And look, how far they make it in this is really irrelevant, honestly. Yeah. Obviously, I'm a fan, and I'm going to be watching, and I want them to go far and go on a run just because that would just be lit. But the season has already been fantastic as a Rockets fan, just as the Rockets team. I mean, I don't really know what more you could really ask from this team at this point. They got 50-plus wins. They're, with some stuff happening tonight, they could end up getting a lock on the second seed. Like, this was a team that was winning barely 35 games last season. Yeah. The season before that, even lower than that, like 20-something. It's like, this has been a bad team since James Harden has left. And they've been rebuilding, drafting. They've drafted well. They've acquired some good pieces, except for Van Vliet. And now they're finally ready to compete, which is what I wanted when we did our predictions in the beginning of the year, where it was like, what did we want from the Rockets? My prediction, I was like, I just hope they get in the play-in. If they get in the play-in, I'm hyped. So to see them in the second seed, to see them, I mean, they're the only team in the NBA that's beaten the Cavaliers and OKC twice. Like, they're 1-1 with the Lakers. They've beaten this team has beaten top teams, which is even more surprising because they're such a young team that you would think that against some of these bigger name teams that they would be like, I don't know. But it's like they've beaten the Celtics. They've beaten
and different kinds of teams too.
Right. Yeah. All these squads have different ways that they're good, and they've beaten them in different ways. They've beaten them through going big with Şengün and Adams. They've beaten them going more small and explosive with Green, Amen, some of these guys, Tari Eason. And it's just like the team, I think, is one of the scariest matchups for pretty much anybody.
They play the best defense.
Just because defensively, they're, a juggernaut. And then offensively, they play how a lot of teams don't, especially some of these older teams, because they're so young, they're so fast that they don't even know what tired is yet. So they're just running like this. You're like, bro, hold on. Like, you know what I'm saying? And they're like, they're not even trying to get free throws. They're not even trying to they're like, no, we want to get steals and run around all day. Like, we want to run all day and they're deep. They have a bunch of players on the team that can go crazy.
Yeah.
Green, Shengun. Then you got guys like Jabari Smith Jr. who like overall are mid, but can come in and splash like 2 or 3 threes and maybe give you a leg up.
Or DB. DB's been
Right?
playing really
Dylan
good.
Brooks has been doing great as a scorer, and he's been doing good defensively. Like, I mean, this is a team that can shock some people. Depending on matchups. I mean, I like them better than a lot of the play-in teams for sure. And then when it comes to the top teams, like, I mean, the Lakers and like OKC, I can see really being a battle. Pretty much everyone else, I'm choosing the Rockets over them.
That's what I'm saying.
Easily.
Yeah.
Like, I think they're ready to go. And Ime Udoka is such an elite coach. Like, this dude has literally transformed this team because the last dude we had, Steven Silas, that dude, it was an idiot. That dude had no idea what was going on the basketball court. I swear to God. He was terrible at developing. He had no idea what he's doing. The rotations were crazy. Yeah, that dude should be banned from coaching basketball. Actually, Steven Silas should be banned at coaching basketball, and just like the NBA, like period, for what he was doing. But Ime Udoka is so elite and is the perfect coach for this team.
Right.
This team is ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
our friends were saying that they didn't look ready. They don't look mentally ready and all that. And I was going off like
they do.
Not even like I like the Rockets, but I'm not a fan. But I was going off for him. Like the Rockets look so solid in every facet. Like there's no part where they look weak. They really do look strong everywhere, and they play the best defense. Like OKC plays really good defense, but they foul a lot.
Right.
Houston, they play really good defense, and they don't really foul. Like they do, of course. But
right.
I don't think they are as handsy as the Thunder or even like the Knicks play handsy defense like that too, and the Hawks and shit. I think Houston plays like really clean, good basketball. Like it's good for the game.
Right.
It's good that they're good.
The only reason they get like like fouls and stuff is more because of the extra. They're a tough team. They don't really want to seem like
but they start yapping.
Right. They're they don't want to be bitches. You know what I'm saying? So they kind of sometimes they beef up, what I mean? And they don't really take a lot of shit, someone they get into a thing and like the Rockets are ready to square up, and that's a lot of some of that, they get teched a lot. But again, I feel like that's a little bit of the Ime Udoka, like, look guys, we're a young team, but we're not going to be like schoolyard chumps, like, whatever, y'all 20-year-olds. It's like, nah, if they say something, like we not just gonna sit down, bro. Like, you know what I mean? And again, me and him were talking about it the other day, where it was like Ime Udoka is kind of like this, like, military general almost for this team. A bunch of young guys, 24, 25 and under, a bunch of guys has been in the league a couple years. You needed a coach like this, drill sergeant type coach that's like, look, I'm not your friend. I don't care about TikTok, Instagram. I'm not trying to be cool. We're coming here and we're playing basketball, and we're playing basketball for real. We're not doing none of this antic stuff. I don't care who you are. If you're not playing good, you're sitting on the bench. If I have an idea that I know is going to win the game, then certain people are going to sit and certain people are going to play because it makes sense for right now. This is how we're going to do it. This is how practice is going to run. This is what time you're going to be here. If you're not here, you're not playing. Like, they needed this kind of structure, this kind of guy to come in here and really get these young guys not only to follow, but then, he's also like, the players love him.
Yeah, they're buying into it.
And he's not like beating their ass like fuck you, but he's like setting the tone like
tough love.
Right. Like, you're gonna do what I'm telling you to do because I know basketball and you're young and y'all are all good players, but you're gonna do what I say. And if you do this wrong, then you're not gonna get this benefit just because you're, whoever.